Hello YouTube, welcome to the flight deck. Bit different to normal. Normally I'm on the ground and GSX are loading up the plane and I'm filling out the FMC and prepping the aircraft. But I did all that on Twitch on a live stream this morning when we departed Schipol in Amsterdam. We've been flying for a fair few hours now. We're just coming to Boston, or Logan International. And we're just coming up on our first restraint, which is Echo November Echo. Just have a look down here on the FMC. We'll see. It needs to be at 24,000 feet or above. And we're just coming up to that now. We should be on the ground in the next, what's the program saying? Next 25 minutes or so we should be on the ground. So just descending into there now. We've had a monstrous headwind all the way here. We should have been here at 13 I believe it was, Zulu. Our arrival time is now 16:35 Zulu. So that headwind has put on quite a bit of time. We've been following. When I say following, we've been closely following another aircraft. He's now disappeared off, I think, because we've descended far below where he is. He's going to JFK, and he took off directly behind me out of Amsterdam this morning, where there was thunderstorms. So the weather has not been on our side at all. Anyway, we'll be landing into Logan International, as I said, and the scenery is from FlyTampa, and it is very, very nice scenery. Unfortunately, we're not landing the way into the airport that I like to. I like to come over the harbour and the docks, because you do get quite low to the boats. We're not coming in that way, which is a shame, never mind. We'll be landing on runway 22 left. As you can see here, flight number is Delta Lima 125. We are Delta Airlines at 125 today. We are on VATSIM. In fact, let's see if we can go ahead and tune in. And before we do that, we'll tune in Unicom on this other one here. But let's go ahead and tune in. I think it's Newark approach. I might be wrong. I don't know if we'll get it. But I had a quick look to see if there's anything available that we could have a listen to. And you'll only be able to hear it if I've actually managed to set everything up correctly. I'm pretty sure I have, but I use a virtual cable now, so that the voice of VATSIM can come through come through the speakers and the headset. I've got a very itchy foot. So we're just starting our descent. We've leveled off at 24,000 feet here for the minute. It's been over 2 years since I've been into Boston, and I don't want to take any. I want to try and do it as close to the restrictions as I can, and that way I know I should be at a good enough altitude. Because the last time I came a little bit too high, and as a result landed a little bit too fast, a little bit far down the runway. Probably should have gone around and done it again. But when you've been flying for 7 or 8 hours, all you want to do is put the thing on the deck, and that's what I did. But hopefully this time, all being well, and touch wood, we've been flying for 7 hours, I think, around 7 hours anyway, and we haven't had an out of memory error. Touch wood. I'm tapping my desk now like crazy, even though it's plastic ply. But right, auto brake we've got it set at 2. Landing speed is 137 plus wind correction. Okay, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hear that or not. Hopefully you can. Be nice if I can get it configured properly so that when I'm flying on VATSIM you can hear what I'm saying, what the ATC is saying to me, because my last video couldn't do that. You could hear my response, but you couldn't hear what they were saying. And if you can hear him, this guy's microphone is pretty decent. You can actually understand exactly what he's saying. But we're pretty much configured for landing. Got the checklist here. for our approach. Flaps down to 30, landing gear down and speed brake armed. Obviously we're not going to do any of that just yet. And what we will do here is we'll just bring this down to 11,000 feet because our next restraint is 11,000 feet or above. Right, runway heading. It's 216, ILS 110.3. If you did want to watch the preparations and takeoff this morning, I do archive all of my Twitch streams, so you will be able to go onto my Twitch account, which is linked in on my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to find it there. So the heading's 216. Just put that in here. I don't know if we need to contact this guy or not, but we're on his channel anyway. There's Newark departures and something approach. I don't know what that is. JFK, LaGuardiola. Don't know what that is. It's New York. Yeah, New York approach. So no, we don't have to touch that. Which is fine, but we can listen in. Pardon me. I'm being very British right now and have a cup of tea as we come in to Boston. Happy swimming. Oh, that's better. It's nice and cold. It's not as cold as it is in Boston though. Onto the legs page here. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're just going to go into active sky next. Okay, so the weather at Boston. Wind at 220, 15 knots, gusting 24 knots, broken clouds at 1,500. That's absolutely fine. QNH 1021, so we'll dial in 3016 because of course we're across the pond now and that's how they work, and if we get ATC at any point it's all going on there. Okay, right, we're going to go down now to our final altitude, which is 1,700. Okay, 18,000 feet transitional altitude over here, so setting there now. Okay, so go around altitude will be 3,000 or above. Landing altitude 69 feet, so we've got minimum set here at 269. And he just went offline, so I suppose no, we're not going to have any ATC anyway. Well, that wasn't for us anyway, but you can always hope that at some point someone will come online to guide us in. Just to add to the realism of the sim, why not? Okay, we're going to transitional altitude now, so we're going to put the seatbelt signs on. And the ding I normally get seems to have disappeared. What temperature are we on? Can the anti-ice come off? Yes, we're at plus 5 degrees. Anti-ice off. It's set on auto anyway, however it's peace of mind if you've done it yourself. Okay, let's just put out a little bit of speed brake here. Get that speed down. Okay, so our next constraint, we need to be 14,000 feet or below, but above 9,000 feet. After that, we're down to 210 knots, 6,000 feet. Then after that, down to 210 knots, 3,000 feet, but we'll then go on to managed speed. And our approach speed is 170, landing speed of roughly about 144. With the gusting wind, I'd rather take a slightly higher VREF, because you've got your 137 plus wind correction. I'm going to go a little higher than that. And Boston by right should be over there somewhere. Okay, so we're below 14,000, need to stay above 9,000 until we pass this waypoint. Speed brake is in. TCAS is on. Where the radar is on, we could get a wind shear alert with there being gusting winds. Range at 20 miles, that's fine. Okay, so coming to 10,000 feet. The lights can go on. Everything else is fine. Okay, so we need to be down at 6,000 feet by the next constraint. So an hour behind schedule, no thanks to that wind. At one point it was up to 137 knots and it was right on the nose. People going back the other way, eastbound, would have had a nice fast flight with a tailwind of that sort of speed. Okay, we should be able to dial in. I think it's 1200.
Kilo 34 Bravo Airport information November 1654 Zulu weather wind 24 at 23 gusting to 9 visibility 10 sky condition temperature 10 dew point 1 altimeter 3016 advise on initial contact you have information November Kilo 34 Bravo Airport information November 16.
Okay, so I think that's nearest airport. This should be
Kilo Bravo Oscar Sierra Airport information Oscar 1654 Zulu weather wind 244 at 23 gusting to 29 visibility 10 sky condition temperature 10 dew point 1 altimeter 3016 advise on initial contact you have information Oscar Kilo Bravo Oscar Sierra
So
Airport
should we get
information
ATC
Oscar
contact
1654 Zulu weather wind 244 at 23 gusting to 29 visibility 10
Oscar. Okay, so that was active Sky Next that was giving us the ATIS there. And if you tune in 1220, it gives you the local station. 122.25 gives you your arrival airport, I believe, or planned, so depending which one you're closer to, either your departure or your arrival. Okay, we're going to have 220 knots here. That's the cup of tea finished. Right, we shouldn't need speed brake now, so we can arm the speed brake. Boston is just over there. There, look. You just faintly see two runway strips in the distance. Okay, FTX Global providing lovely winter textures. Okay, so we're just matching our descent now. We've been well below it on the way down. But that's me being taking more precaution than anything else. Once we pass here, it should take us down to 3,000 feet. Put this on 3,000 because it needs to be 3,000 or above. Okay, so 20 miles out, so we drop speed to 180. Flaps 5. Didn't mean to do that. Heading set, go around actually will be 3,000 feet. Speed brake's back in, we shouldn't need that now. We'll arm that again. Speed brake is armed. Okay, flap 5. Okay, coming down nice and steady now. Okay, so we're 15 miles out. We're just there let people know what's going on here. Right. Alright, cabin's ready, that's good. Coming up on Wayne, once we're down to Wayne we can then go down to 1700, activate approach. And then we can dial in, go around altitude, which is 3000 above. 1000 above. Can't see any traffic on TCAS, we should be fine. And I really need to make the change onto P3D because the graphic, the frames I lose when coming into airports is ridiculous. Never had it on the FSX box version, always had a smoother, nothing against the Steam one, I just don't seem to have as consistent frames. I'm not bringing anything different to what I used to, but I'm not going to reinstall the boxed version for the sake of that. Okay, right, down to 1700. Arm approach. Okay, it's captured it, right. Flaps 15. Leave some more speed off. Glide slope has been captured. Eight miles out. Flaps 25, gear down. Oh. Well, that's the one I want. On there. There we go. Okay, gear down. Once we pass this next restraint, we will then slow down to about 143, 144 for landing speeds. And this is going to be as smooth as the takeoff by the looks of things. Okay, start to lose this and I can't do it like that. Let's do it like this. Oops. 143. Okay, flaps 30. It's outer marker. Wow, look at that wind. No auto land, that's handy. Okay, autopilot disengaged. I have control. Oh, that wind is something else.
Approaching 2 left.
Correct. Cool, that's a really quiet. What was that? Continue. Reverse is on. Manual braking. Okay, we'll turn off here. Strobe lights off, landing lights off, taxi lights on, speed brake in, flaps up. Okay, flight director can come off. Never set go around altitude, just where we didn't need it. Right, traffic can come off there. Weather radar can now be turned off.
Approaching 04 left.
Yep, let's have a quick look. I'm coming. Should probably state intentions, but again, there's no traffic on TCAS. I'm not worried. Right, just pull off here and we'll get a marshaller. Right then. Oh, previous page. Oh, Pier A, I think. No. Sure that's what it said on the chart. Must be wrong. How do I go back if I can't have any of those? No. No. Alright, let's try this again. Revoke parking services. Just go gate. No. Wow. Bravo. Too small, too small, too small. Aha, there we go. Press follow me, yes. Right then, yes, autopilot is disengaged. Oops. Auto brake off. Marshal has been dispatched. Is that where we're going there? Yes, it is. Right. Now let's see if we can get the marshal to do a little dance. where's the marshal then? There isn't one. Okay. So they dispatched one, never mind. Being handled by American Airlines. And stop. Okay, engine cut off. We never stuck the APE, but never mind, doesn't matter. There you go, that is what we've flown here in. And that is job done. Right, thanks for watching guys. If I don't do another video before Christmas, have a good Christmas.